This is Villa View. Will Villa's Derby Day Kings shoot down Wolves? And we talk about the magic of Milner. Hello and welcome to Villa View. I'm Andy Walker, and this week I'm joined as ever by our man at Villa, Matt Kendrick. Welcome, Matt.
Hi there.
Well, of course, we're here today to look ahead to the latest local derby on our patch, which is Wolves coming to Villa Park. What are your thoughts going into the game?
It's a good opportunity for Villa to try and get a few more points on the board. No disrespect to Wolves, but you'd back Villa to win that game, especially with a home advantage. I think it's the first time Villa have been at home for 2 or 3 weeks with various other cup commitments and a couple of away games. Wolves have got a shocking record, actually, in fairness, at Villa Park. I don't think they've won there for 30 years. So you'd think that Villa would expect 3 points, although I don't think it'd be easy by any stretch of the imagination. And
let's talk about man Gabby Agbonlahor, obviously past fit for the game, we know that now. And his tremendous record in local derbies. I understand he scored in the last 6 games against Blues, Albion and Wolves. I mean, it's just fantastic, really, isn't it?
It's a pretty good way to make yourself popular with the Villa fans, isn't it? By giving them bragging rights in so many games. Yeah, it's just been phenomenal. I mean, obviously it started with a couple of goals against Blues, carried on against the Albion and against Blues again. And of course he scored at Molineux in the 1-1 earlier in the season as well. So yeah, it's a phenomenal record.
Do you think it's a coincidence, or do you think the fact that he's a local lad that maybe, it gives him that extra percentage to go out there and dump the local rival?
I think it probably does give him kind of an extra buzz, because there's normally a cracking atmosphere generated in these games, regardless of whether it's Blues, Albion or Wolves are the opposition. I know that he said in recent seasons as well that a lot of the away fans in these games have a rather derogatory chant about his mum, which he says inspires him. So I don't think he particularly likes to hear that chant, but it certainly does seem to have a motivational effect on him.
So probably the warning to Wolves fans this week is to not bother singing it.
Yeah.
Well, he may end up being the man of the moment this weekend, but the man at the moment is James Milner, who is rightfully so attracting all the plaudits. Just how well has he done this season, Matt?
He's been phenomenal, hasn't he? I think particularly since he's moved to central midfield, it's really kind of freed him up. And he's added goals to his game. I mean, Villa haven't had a goal-scoring midfielder. I don't know, probably looking back to Ian Taylor, aren't we? And before that, David Platt. So when you've got a player like that contributing goals from midfield, particularly when Villa's strikers, with the exception of Agbonlahor, haven't been scoring that many, it's just a great tool to have. And what impressed me particularly about him on Wednesday at Wigan, we're 3 quarters through the season now, and he's still first minute to last. He's still got so much energy. I mean, there was an instance on Wednesday night where he won the ball on the edge of his own penalty box and chased it down to virtually the Wigan byline, and that was deep into stoppage time, and that, as much as the goal, that epitomised what James Milner's all about, really.
Well, talking about that Wigan game, we'll catch up with Matt a bit more on that in a moment. But first up, here is some dressing room reaction from the DW Stadium.
Martin, that's a tremendous victory. Superb performance from your lads,
really. Yeah, it was, Jack. It was really, really great performance. We had to come here with all guns blazing, trying to win a game against a side that I know didn't play particularly well on Saturday away from home, but were brilliant here last week against Liverpool, and so we had to fight that. We scored, then we conceded so quickly afterwards that generally would knock you down. But I knew that we'd create chances in the second half, and delighted that we got one from what I would call a phenomenal performance by James Milner.
And now the race for fourth hots up at the weekend, a local derby against Wolves. How do you see that one?
Yeah, we know it's going to be tough. Obviously, when we went down to there, we didn't have a great performance, and we come out with a draw. But I think we're full of confidence now, and everybody's looking forward to that game. And like I say, it's an early kick-off. We're at home, and everybody's looking forward to it now.
And they're in a similar position to Wigan in a way, aren't they? Just above that bottom 3, still need the points. So for different reasons, it's important for them.
Yeah, that's right. It's different for us. It's different for them. We're looking up to try and get into that 4th spot and kick on and go forward. And they're trying to keep themselves away from the bottom 3. And we know it's going to be a tough game, but I've got every never thought that we're going to go and get the 3 points.
Had some away joy. It'll be good to be back at Villa Park, won't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's always nice to be back at home, and like I say, we've been on the road quite a lot, but we've had a lot of success, and hopefully we'll get that back at Villa Park on Saturday.
Well, Matt, some thoughts from the win at Wigan. You were there on Tuesday night. What do you make of it?
It was a battle, but it was I think it's a massive 3 points. Amazingly, Villa still stay in 7th place. I think they've been there since the start of February, and win, lose or draw, they still seem to remain in 7th. But crucially now, they're 3 points behind 4th place with a game in hand. And they worked hard for that result. I know Wigan are a kind of topsy-turvy, kind of Jekyll and Hyde team, but they had a really good go at Villa on Tuesday night. And I think it's credit to Villa that they're able to cope with that. With the stakes being so high, they were able to emerge with 3 points and to put themselves in such a strong position now going into the last 10 games.
Do you think, given the fact that they have been 7th for so long, which is still fair few places away from, people start considering them to be genuine top 4 contenders, they've gone somewhat forgotten, and maybe a bit of a dark horse. Yet that victory at Wigan, as you said, had put them a game in hand and only 3 points behind Tottenham in 4th, hasn't it?
I think you're probably right, because a year ago, perhaps a little bit longer than a year ago, they'd been in 4th place, for 3rd and 4th place for such a long period of time. It was theirs to lose, if you like, and they did lose it. Now they've kind of managed to creep under the radar. All the talk's been of Tottenham, Man City and Liverpool, and Villa have largely been able to get on with their kind of steady work quite quietly. I think now it's such a crucial point of the season. I don't think any of the teams that are in the shake-up can go unnoticed. So it's crucial that Villa can kind of still pick up points even when the pressure's on.
Okay, Matt, thanks for your thoughts today. And we'll be back the same time next week to see how Villa's quest to get into the top 4 has got on. Thanks, and we'll see you then.